everyone. So I will be doing a tutorial video today. First I just wanted to show you my outfit of the day. So I'm wearing a little white dress. This is actually the first dress that I made, and a yellow cardigan. I'm also just wearing a little pearl bracelet and star earrings. Actually really cute. And featuring my yellow bow headband. So this is really nice big bow, and I made it out of like yellow satin material, and that's what this tutorial will be about, how to make bow headbands. So I'll be showing you how I make bow headbands. There are many different ways of making bow headbands, and they vary in simplicity, but the way I show you, I would want to say it's going to be quick and easy, but it's not exactly quick, but it is easy. What I do is I actually sew the headband together, like the bow and everything. I don't just use a ribbon and tie it in a bow and attach it to, like, headband. But I'll show you how to sew like a little bow, and then you can just glue gun it to a plain headband like this. So I will show you first here. I had the fabric, the right sides are together. I traced out just so you know, a rectangular shape, and that's going to be the pattern for the bow. And it's very important to measure out how you want the bow to be. This headband is very full, and it's it's kind of fat. This is how I'm cutting it out. I'll show you the measurements. This is 4 inches long and 6 inches wide. When I sew it, it's not going to be 6 inches long. It's going to be a little less because I'm going to be sewing it in. I'm just going to cut this out. Okay, so I just finished cutting it out, and it's just like this. I'm just going to pin it around so that I can sew it easily. And I'm going to go sew it right now, and I'll show you guys how it looks like. So I just came back from stitching everything, and I'm just clipping off the excess threads that's hanging off here. Yeah. Okay. So now I sew around the edge, all around all four edges. So you won't be able to turn it inside out without clipping. What I do is I clip the back of it just right in the center. So I fold it in half like this, and then I fold it in half again, like this, and this corner, that's the exact center. And I forgot my chalk. I'll be back. So I got the chalk, and I'm just marking the very center, the corner there. That just marks the very center, and make sure that you can separate the bottom from the top, just like how I did here. It's just so that I can only clip one side. So, taking my clipper, and I'm just snipping here, snip, and then I'm cutting along here a little bit. The snipper is getting a little dull. I've used it a lot. Oops. So I just continue snipping. I don't know if you can see. Snip, snip. And there. Okay. And so when I did that, it's only on one side. The other side there's no cutting there. And then I use this to turn everything inside out. So pull the fabric inside out, so the right side is now on the outside. Okay, so basically I also turned this one over, and just make sure that in the very corners you also pull it as much as possible, get the fabric out as much as possible so the corner is a little pointy. So yeah, basically that's what I do, and then I iron it. So basically this is how it will look. You do it like this, and you have what I'm going to use is a ribbon to tie it around. You can use any color. This one's really pretty, just use a little gold. Just that on the back of this place that we clipped, what I usually do is get rid of the excess thread, and then I stitch it up. So I just go on the sewing machine and I sew there and I finish the edges. So it's totally finished, but this is going to be on the wrong side. This is going to be the right side, and you use a ribbon or whatever and just like gather it in there. So you see, because of how we cut it out, I cut it really long at this side. The longer you cut it this side is the more like of this pleating details and gathering details you see in the bow. The smaller, like the narrower you cut it, is the less there is, because you see when I do this, it doesn't really pleat or anything. It's nothing really going on there. So it depends on what you want. You can, experiment and see what you like. So I'm just going to go on the sewing machine and stitch this up real quick. So I'll be back. So this is basically how it looks after I finish the edge of it. I just basically did zigzag stitches along the ending, so it's very neatly closed up. And the next part, what I usually do is use the same color thread. Let's get this part up. So I have the thread here, and I want to find the center again. So I'll just do it right in the middle, right here. And I like to put this around it, so it has that bow effect. Isn't that cute? That's lovely. And I just tie it. So after I've tied it in the middle with the thread, just to keep it in place in the bow shape, you can then try to decorate it. So you can use ribbon and just put it around the center like that, and there you have a really cute bow. And so you have a plain headband, and then you just glue gun it on. So glue gun, put it on the back, well, you clip off the rest of the ribbon, and then you just add the glue on there, and make sure that when you put the glue gun in, you stick it on really tightly within 15 seconds so that the glue doesn't cool off and then it doesn't stick properly. So basically that's what you do, and you'd have a really cute headband. And you can also decorate it with buttons there or buttons there. You can also do funky stitching around the edges. I'm just going to show you what I did. This is one of the headbands I made for my Etsy store. I have the stretch bands at the back, and it's a removable pin. So what I like to do with my headbands, I do not get a plain one and just stick a bow onto it. I usually just have like my own fabric, and I just stitch it together like I did with this one. I use the same fabric, I stitch it together to make the band, and this one is a ribbon. So that's one of the ones I have available on my site. This is the other one I did, and it's double layered. And I made a few more of this one. And I also have this one here. This was my first bow headband that I made out of like lumberjack material. So this is my growing collection. You can check out my Etsy store, honeybliss.etsy.com, and I'll be adding a lot more bow inspired headbands of various designs. So I hope you like this tutorial, and thanks for watching, and please subscribe. Thanks.